It was a calm Tuesday afternoon when the call came in. The voice of Alex Eala's agent crackled throughout the phone as she was in Toronto getting ready for her third-round match at the National Bank Open. Steven Spielberg would like to meet you. The 21-year-old Filipina tennis prodigy momentarily lost her breath. Steven Spielberg, the director of Jurassic Park, the creator of E.T., and the guy who shaped film for many years. How come he would want to meet her? What could one of the greatest directors in history learn from a tennis player? The second part of the message, however, was an offer that would completely alter his life, a part in his upcoming Hollywood blockbuster. And her response? She agreed. There was only a girl from Quezon City who aspired to be a great tennis player before the offer, the rumors, and the headlines in Hollywood. By winning her maiden WTA title at the DC Open, making it to the fourth round of Wimbledon, and attaining a career-high ranking of world number 20, Alex Eala has spent years establishing her reputation on the WTA Tour. She was the first Filipino in history to accomplish all of this. However, she had also evolved into a phenomenon. Her fame has spread beyond tennis. It was dubbed Ealamania by Andy Roddick. Her fame was being compared by hundreds to that of Taylor Swift, Michael Jordan, and Manny Pacquiao. She was motivating a country of 110 million people, selling out stadiums in 30 minutes, and attracting crowds that transformed neutral sites into home courts. Hollywood had also taken notice of her. Her post-match interview at Wimbledon moved actor Andrew Garfield, widely known for playing Spider-Man, to tears. He described her experience as inspiring. As she overcame IgA Swiatek, Tom Hiddleston was seen cheering from the stands. Steven Spielberg had observed something different, but the tennis community had taken note. He perceived a tale that was ready to be shared. A professional athlete had never before been cast in a major part by Steven Spielberg. He had experience working with actors. He had collaborated with luminaries. However, he had never collaborated with a tennis player. Why, then, Alex Eala? Sources close to the production claim that the solution was straightforward. The tale revolved around her. Spielberg's next movie, Disclosure Day, was a realistic science fiction thriller that examined the moment when mankind realizes it is not the only species in the world. The movie, which was billed as a contemporary follow-up to Close Encounters of the Third Kind, was supposed to be character-driven rather than heavily computer-generated imagery. It was a movie about bravery in the face of uncertainty, connection, and identity. Spielberg thought Eala personified those themes. Spielberg had been tracking Eala's progress since her debut in the Miami Open in 2025, according to sources. He had witnessed her defeat 3 Grand Slam winners in a row. He had witnessed her gracefully and modestly manage the weight of a country's expectations. He had seen her go from being a wild card pick to a player in the top 20. Additionally, he had identified a unique young lady who was already enjoying a remarkable life. She's not just an athlete, an insider told The Hollywood Reporter. She's incredible. Spielberg has spent his entire career narrating tales like her journey from the streets of Quezon City to the center court at Wimbledon. She is the ideal representation of the human spirit, in his opinion. It was an unparalleled offer. Spielberg wanted Eala to play a lead role in Disclosure Day, a character inspired by her own journey. A young woman from a tiny town finds that she is connected to something bigger than herself. A tale of bravery, self-discovery, and the strength of having faith in something greater. Eala would have to work with a stellar cast that featured Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, and Colin Firth for several months on set in Los Angeles. It would entail stepping away from the tennis tour during a vital phase of her career. It would involve juggling the pressures of Hollywood with the grueling schedule of a top 20 player. It would entail stepping outside of her comfort zone and into a world she had never encountered. Eala, though, didn't think twice. Spielberg's agency responded right away to her proposition. She agreed. Why wouldn't I? Later, Eala informed reporters. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. A legend is Steven Spielberg. To collaborate with him, get knowledge from him, and be a part of something that has the potential to motivate millions of others. You can't say no to that. The tennis community was rocked by the announcement. Fans, experts, and players all found it difficult to comprehend the news. A tennis player in a Spielberg movie? It was unheard of. It came as a surprise. And it was taking place. One of the first to respond was Jessica Pegula, the third-ranked player in the world after losing to Eala in the DC Open final. "I'm not surprised," she remarked. "Alex's it factor has always been there. She is more than just a tennis player. She is a celebrity." Additionally, Steven Spielberg recognizes talent. The sentiment was echoed by Coco Gauff, who had faced Ella several times during the tour. "She's going to be huge," Gauff declared. "She is already enormous. This is only the start." Ella received congratulations even from Iga Swiatek, who had been astounded by her at Wimbledon. "She's an inspiration," Swiatek remarked. "She will now motivate even more people. That's what counts." However, not everyone was overjoyed. Ella's ability to manage the rigors of filming a Hollywood blockbuster and the demands of professional tennis was questioned by some reviewers. Some questioned whether she was jeopardizing her tennis career in order to experience a brief period of celebrity. Fans on social media were split between those who applauded her ambition and those who were concerned about the repercussions. The economics of tennis had already changed because to the Ella effect. Stadiums had sold out for her matches, tournament officials had to relocate her to center court, and she had been compared to the biggest stars in entertainment. It was going to change Hollywood now. According to those close to Universal Pictures, the company was already organizing a significant marketing campaign centered around Eala's role in the movie. The objective was to promote her to a worldwide audience and capitalize on her enormous fan following, especially in the Philippines and throughout Southeast Asia. "Alex Eala is more than just a tennis player," a Universal official stated. "She is a phenomena in culture. She is a symbol of genuineness, resiliency, and the guts to follow your dreams, qualities that people all around the world are yearning for. The world will now witness that, just as Steven Spielberg did. The timing couldn't be more ideal." With endorsement deals from Nike, Babolat, and other big businesses, Eala was already among the most marketable athletes on the planet. Her star power would only increase after her Hollywood debut, giving her access to chances that few athletes could even dream of. However, great opportunity also entails great sacrifice. Eala was aware that one of the most difficult tasks of her life would be juggling her tennis career with a Hollywood movie. She would have to spend several months away from the practice courts and competitions that had shaped her career in Los Angeles due to the Disclosure Day production schedule. "I'm not naive," Eala said. "I am aware that this will be challenging. I've never been frightened of hard work, but I know I'll need to put in twice as much effort to stay at the top of my game. I came here in the first place because of that." Her team, which included her trainers and coaches, had already started organizing a demanding schedule that would enable her to keep up her tennis abilities and level of fitness while filming. She would work with a tennis instructor on site, train in the mornings before going to set, and spend her weekends practicing and competing whenever she could. "I want to demonstrate that you are capable of doing both," Eala stated. "It is possible to be an elite athlete and still follow other interests. You are not required to make a decision. If you're prepared to put in the effort, you can achieve everything." There was more to Eala's choice to accept Spielberg's offer than just a film role. It was about leaving a lasting legacy, demonstrating to the world that athletes are more than just their sport, and demonstrating that a Filipino girl could not only compete with the greatest in tennis but also stand with the finest in Hollywood. Eala stated, "I want to inspire people. I want to demonstrate to them the boundless potential of dreams. The message is the same whether it's on the court or the television. You can accomplish anything if you have confidence in yourself." Millions have already been influenced by her trip. Growing up, the kids looked up to her and aspired to be like her. The admirers perceived her as a mirror of their own challenges and victories. The country came together in support of her, bound by a common goal. She was now on the verge of inspiring a new generation, one that would view her not only as a tennis player but also as an example of what is achievable when you don't accept boundaries. The moment that would alter everything had arrived on a calm Tuesday afternoon. A moment that would transport Alex Eala from the world's tennis courts to Hollywood's silver screen. However, she made a decision that would shape her legacy at a turning point in her career. She agreed. She demonstrated that the Eala effect was exclusive to tennis by doing this. It was about having guts, being willing to take risks, and believing that you can be more than what other people think you should be. Steven Spielberg had recognized something in her, a soul, a story, an uncontrollable determination. The entire world will now witness it as well. The last point had touched down. The cameras had ceased filming. However, Alex Eala's adventure was only getting started. She had disclosed what everyone had suspected, that she was never content, that she would never give up, and that she was destined for greatness both on and off the court. Thank you to everyone who has supported me, especially the Filipino community, wherever you may be in the world. I genuinely sense the affection. On Quezon City's hard courts, the fantasy had begun. The entire world was watching as it took her to Hollywood.